There's like 7 stages in this game. Like, there's a lot, actually. And the music they have is really awesome. I always like the music in this game. And I like it how you can change it too. You just press down on the D-pad and you can change the radio station. You can just have like no radio station if you don't want it. I remember this game was iconic because of the power. Well, not because of the Power Glove. It's a great game. But I particularly wanted this game because of the Power Glove. Like seeing the commercials where the guys are like kind of like just pretending like they're driving a steering wheel with a Power Glove. I always thought that was like super revolutionary for back in like 1988 or 89 or 90 or whenever it was. Funny story, I had the Power Glove. Same day I got it, I ended up breaking my arm. Not because of the Power Glove, because I was doing stupid stuff because I was a kid and I was like 7 years old. But the sad part of it is because I broke my arm the same day that I got the Nintendo Power Glove, as my mom and dad thought purely it was the Power Glove's fault. That I was playing it either fatigued my arm and caused my arm to be weak and ended up breaking it. So I remember we got this, and I remember where we bought it from. My grandma bought me the Power Glove, and it was at a drugstore. And this is old school drugstore. It was called Clark Drugstore. Billy, you probably know what I'm talking about if you remember that. Right before it burned down, it burned down because of like the Rodney King riots, or the LA riots that happened. But I remember they used to sell Nintendo stuff there, and it was very rare. Like Clark's is like your modern day CVS. And I remember I always used to, as a kid, I always used to like go up to like the front area where they have all the expensive stuff, because that's where they held like the Nintendo things and stuff like that. And I remember like looking and remember seeing that they had the Power Glove. And remember this one time where they actually had it on sale. And I don't know if the either the Super Nintendo was coming out or it already came out or something, but it was on sale for some reason. Maybe because it didn't sell that good. But the Power Glove itself was, I think, about $50. And regular price was about close to like $150, I think. So it was on sale for $50. I begged my grandma, and it wasn't too hard. My grandma ended up getting it for me. God bless herself, because she used to spoil me, or used to love spoiling me. And I remember to get it home, and I was stoked. And I remember just pulling out a book that was like that thick long. And he had this like really weird thing, like you had to put on top of the TV and connect it to different things. And there was a code you had to program with each game that you had to do. And you had to learn different hand gestures and stuff in order to use it. And I remember it worked relatively good when I first bought it. And I think I got it to initially where I could like ended up like it acted like a steering wheel. It took like 4 hours though. When my dad, God bless him, like reading every little thing to try to make it work. And I was like 7, so I didn't know how to really make anything work back then. So either my dad had to make it work or not. But we finally got it working. It was a blast. It was fun. And I remember that particular day. And I think it was like a Friday. And probably it was a Sunday because it was going into Monday. And so I remember that night playing for a while. I had to go to bed, but I ended up playing with my sister for a little bit. My dad was just, continuing to play the Nintendo. He was having fun with it because we're a gaming family. So I remember with my sister in the living room, playing around, dancing, listening to music, and then I was just jumping around. And what ended up happening is I ended up skipping down my hallway. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Oh, we're still alive. I ended up skipping down my hallway. And I tripped on my big ass feet, and I ended up going arm first into my hallway and landing directly on my right arm. And it was a loud thump. It was like, boom, everybody asked, you okay? And, I just kind of said, yeah, out of habit, because, I'm a kid, I jump around and stuff. And then when I got up, the bone in my arm just kind of fell. So I kind of felt it like hit the wall of like skin, and then this excruciating pain just kind of happened. And I remember I sprint to the living room, screaming my arm, and my grandma ends up getting out of bed, and my mom comes over and like, I don't know what happened and stuff like that. And I remember, and my dad, God bless him, he's still next door playing with the Power Glove because he was having fun. So like he just says like he's okay, and he's like he still has his controller like playing. He's like, is he all right? He's okay, and he's still playing. And my mom and my grandma are like wrapping my arm and putting eyes, and my dad's like, he's all right, okay, yeah, just tell me if you name it. And he's playing the game. But I remember like, and he was actually sad because he actually finally got it working to the point. And then once they kind of explained to her what happened, they thought that the Power Glove was the main reason for me breaking my arm, which it had nothing to do with me breaking my arm. It just happened to be a coincidence. Me being a dumb kid at the same time. That I just happened to break my arm by jumping up and down and being a kid. It was just a coincidence that same day I got the Power Glove. So we ended up taking it back the very next day to Clark's drugstore. And that same day, they took me to the children's hospital, which I had to get a cast on. And the sad part about that even more is that once, I had a cast, I couldn't play video games for 4 or 5 months because they wouldn't allow me to use my arm. You know how traumatizing that is for a kid. Can't play games. Like, not only that, like, you took back the Power Glove and you took away games from me for like 4 months. Yeah, so when I play this game, I always think about that. And so that's a random story from my retro days.